Powerbike is capable of. And I'll tell you what, he's not far off the money. He's done a 59.1, pole with a 57.2, so he's only a couple of seconds away. So you're right, Dan Chamberlain would be interesting to see if he can go a little bit quicker. Yeah, right, the revs rise, the lights go out. Who's going to get the jump? Well, it ain't Mr. Baker, because it's going to be Morgan Creasy. Fast starting Creasy. He is away. Morgan Creasy now available on Tinder, by the way, ladies. If you're looking for a date tonight, you'll be able to find Morgan.
Yeah, he apparently likes to take it slow, but he's leading this one as they're going towards Wilson's on that black and luminous yellow number 80 machine. On the, of course, support from Warwick's Limited. Nick down here in the paddock. He's providing plenty of support there for Morgan as well. Of course, Nick used to race round 4, was that 2019, 2020? I think you'd have commentated on him there, Keith.
Probably
Morgan's dad in the CV500 Freshmans, but it is Morgan leading the way ahead of Stephen Butterworth. And Pete Baker there down in 4th place. They didn't quite catch who that was there in 3rd position, but you're right, a new name to us there, Ryan Turner, number 31, on that Kawasaki. No, he's up in the 3rd place now, is Pete Baker. And looking further down the order, everybody through safely there. Looks like Ryan Turner's lost a few positions here and there, but nonetheless, I'm sure he'll be making up ground as this race goes on. But it is now Butterworth leading the way. Runs a little bit wide on the exit of Oggies there, cuts it back nicely in front of Morgan. And the number 99 there of Stephen Butterworth takes over the lead of this race. Around about halfway through this opening lap as they make their way onto the Bentley Straight.
Now, I'm not quite sure which bike Butterworth is using. Does he use the same bike here as he uses in the Ultras or not?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think he does. We wanted to catch up with Stephen today, but unfortunately we ran out of time wandering around the paddock. It's great to catch up and talk to people. You don't get to talk to as many people as perhaps you'd like, unfortunately. And of course, Morgan is not on his Ultra bike, he's on his Honda Fireblade, isn't he?
Yeah,
he hopes to run a British next year.
Simon Reed Fireblade from last year.
Okay.
But yeah, Stephen Butterworth is certainly, I don't know what model designation it is or anything like that, but it's certainly the pre-cross-plane crank car 1 that Stephen Butterworth is riding. He's right there in 2nd place. Up the inside of Morgan, Reed takes the race lead. Does he run a little bit wide? No, he just about keeps it on the tarmac there. Pete Baker in there in 3rd place as they make their way round Murray's and onto the front straight then, and Morgan Creasy right in the wheel tracks off of Stephen Butterworth, and the quad is almost buzzing the tower there as he goes in towards Richards. That's going to be very close there, but Butterworth says, I'll hold on to this race lead. Slams the door in the face of Morgan and holds on to the lead of that one ahead of Morgan, but across the line, half a tenth of a second.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that was probably about a half an inch of a gap between Creasy and the wall there, I think, and his rival. That was desperately close there. That was a serious chop at the end there. Normally it's only a rabbi who gives somebody a bit of a chop that close, I reckon. As we come up towards Agostini's then for the second time of asking, and you can see Creasy stalking Butterworth for all he's worth. These guys are going hard at it. It's Baker there in 3rd place. He's got Kieran Smith behind him. Dan Chamberlain, you mentioned you wanted Dan to do well. Well, he's up to 5th overall. It's Clinton Wood about 2.5 seconds back. So it is Dan who's right in that mix. And let's face it, underpowered 750 compared with these things. I mean, some of these bikes in front of me got 200 horsepower. I'm not quite sure what his 750 is making.
Not that.
Yeah, exactly. Probably a good 30 or 40 horsepower left. That was a pass there, I think. I think that was Smith on Baker, just going onto the back straight there as well, so knocking his rival off the podium. Actually, Baker will still be leading the overall because the others are Clubmans.
Yeah, I was just having a look there, Stephen Butterworth, and the speed difference between an older R1 and a relatively new, I'd say almost brand new there, isn't it? A few years old, it's that Fireblade of Morgan, and the speed difference is quite notable. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. In Morgan's favour, I guess he's saying, yeah. It could be a gearing thing as well. Obviously, we've got a bit of a headwind coming down the back straight here, which becomes a tailwind the other way round. But yeah, it looks like Butterworth back in front, though, as they come back into Murray's there, my friend.
Yeah, Baker's back up in the 3rd place there, ahead of Kieran Smith there. Good to see Kieran Smith back, and we thought Dan Chamberlain's bike wasn't the most modern. Look at the speed difference there as they come across the line. Morgan Creasy on the outside of the circuit. Butterworth went defensive there, but Morgan's the other side of the track, retakes the race lead. And across the line, it was Creasy by 15 one-thousandths of a second. It's a 157.4 for Morgan on that lap then. Ahead of Butterworth, Baker, Kieran Smith, Dan Chamberlain leads the rookie thousands at this stage. Ahead of Wood, Langley, Collins, Skolpirstis, Turner, Thomas, Vincent, Donovan, Mercer and James Fern there. Only riding today is James Fern, not here tomorrow. The 102 machine there, formerly 3rd in the Rookie 1000 Championship 5 years ago there was James Fern. And he's there in 15th place, 5th place in class.
Yes, Stapirstist on the Rookie 1000 running third. And has he done many of the races with us this year?
I think he was with us a round previously. I can't remember which one, but
doesn't seem to be in the points at all this year.
No.
Maybe it was last year. It is a name that you're right, rings a very vague bell.
So we're watching the race leaders and make their way in towards Oggies then. And Kieran Smith is right on the tail now of Morgan Creasy. Looking to cut it underneath them as they go towards Williams. And Morgan Creasy down to third place there. It is now Kieran Smith on bike number 5 there. He was fourth across the line. He's up in the second place, but Butterworth still leads the way. But it's all about the all-important power down the back straight there.
Wow.
And
yeah, I see what you mean about Creasy, my friend. Smith might have got the advantage there briefly, but wow, Morgan has got some herbs under his right hand there, hasn't he? Absolutely flies, and I think he was going to nail his rival in Butterworth as well. So Butterworth is doing all in the corners, I'm guessing. Zach Creasy just leading out of the bomb hole. With
Creasy in second place.
He's back there, is he? Yeah,
a little bit wide out of the bomb hole there, but he's got that covered.
Oh, look at the three of them round Coram. This is one of the best power bike races we've seen all year, I think, my friend. Here we come then into Murray's, and yeah, Butterworth and then Barnage under brakes, strong on the brakes in that R1. On to the front straight we go. This, of course, is where we'll see the herbs of that Honda, and he pulls out mirror signal manoeuvre over the line. And of course, Morgan is leading in that one place you actually need to be leading a race, and that's that little white line down here. He comes across the line ahead of Butterworth, Smith, Baker, Chamberlain, Wood, Collins, Langley.
It's a bit of a rarity, isn't it? We've got a 2020 Fireblade leading the way, ahead of a 2007-2008 R1, and Kieran Smith on a GSX-R1000 K1.
Oh, wow.
In the top three.
It's a little bit of a mix. They are, strictly speaking, actually in different classes, of course. One's in the Retro National, there's Smith, Retro Clubman for Butterworth, and the regular Clubman for Creasy. But the other thing is we don't know if Steve Butterworth is going to be at Brands Hatch due to marriage commitments and things like that. Again, so I'd like to catch up with Stephen. We did hear from Morgan that he doesn't think he's going to be there, but wow, when you're that close to a championship and you're riding this well, oh, look at the speed of that Honda out of Agostini, short shoot up to Hamilton. I don't think he's going to get him though because of the strength of Butterworth on the brakes and on the turns, and Smith can just watch. Now, this is where Smith was strong last time, and again, he's having a sniff around the back end of Creasy. Unfortunately, not quite close enough to find a pass, but it doesn't really matter because we know damn well as soon as we get onto the long straight, what are we calling the straight this week?
It's the Bentley straight.
Bentley, yeah, it's not the Revit straight anymore. We can't name it after a Dutch clothing brand. As we go under the bridge, and again, I think Creasy would have pulled up alongside it, but I think Butterworth is that much stronger on the brakes. But Creasy will know that all he's got to do is follow his rival, keep close to him, come out of Murray's, gonna gas that sucker. And every time it was less than a tenth last time round, and that's all it's all about. And the fastest lap of the race, a 56.4 by Kieran Smith on the retros.
Is Morgan the kind of person to hold back? I think we know the answer to that one. He's there in second place behind Stephen Butterworth then, but again, he's right there close enough as they make their way out of Murray's. And when they come across the line this time around, the last lap flag will be shown. So there'll only be around about 3 miles left in this race when they do come across the line. And Morgan, again, all side by side across the line. Last time it was 0.09. This time around it's 0.009. So less than 100th of a second between Creasy and Butterworth in that order as they came across the line to start the final lap then. Further down the order, Kieran Smith, Pete Baker first in class. So 25 points could well be going the way of Pete Baker, the local man from Kings Lynn then, in his final appearance here at Snetterton. If it was to remain this way, just 1 lap to go. Rookie thousands is Dan Chamberlain ahead of Ben Wood by 1 second. So the GSX-R 750 is currently ahead of the Yamaha R1. Aaron Collins ahead of Langley, Turner, Snorpiersis inside the top 10 overall and third in the rookie thousands. But the leaders then of this race around Agostini's turn number 4 of this Snetterton 300 circuit. Creasy is a little bit wide. Butterworth takes the lead. Butterworth in the race lead ahead of Morgan Creasy as they go into Agostini's, then through the left-hander and before hard on the brakes into the right-hander of Oggies. But Morgan Creasy then, all he needs to do is just stay right there in touching distance and he can just blast that Fireblade down the back straight.
That's as close as he's been. Butterworth is so strong in this series of corner here. And interestingly, Kieran Smith has actually taken a lap record for the Retro Thousands as well. So at least he's got that accolade to his name. But here we go onto the back straight. This time he's going to, unbelievable. This time he had the full slipstream and really going to gas the sucker. I actually think Morgan could be finding himself leading coming through Nelson's section here. I thought he would because he was so much faster. So this time Butterworth might be the quicker man around Corans, but I don't know. Maybe you can hustle him out of the way at Murray's. We'll wait and see as the chicken flag will be getting prepared. ahead very shortly indeed.
But was trying to go the long way around. But was trying to go the long way around there.
He's going to go for the brakes. He's going
around
to
the outside, up the inside in towards Murray's, then hard on the brakes, and
Morgan won't worry about this. Morgan
No.
will just go, no, you know what, you come out, I'm going to open the taps. Here we go, bang. Power of that Fireblade, absolute Honda over Yamaha. Wow, it's like MotoGP's used to be. And away we go. So that is a win there, a fantastic win for Morgan Creasy. Our cover boy, of course, let's not forget that. So ladies, don't forget, you can find him on Tinder, or you can find him in the garages where he'll no doubt be signing autographed copies of your souvenir programs. Pete Baker, hangs on to third overall, and first in class ahead of Kieran Smith. It is going to be Ben Wood who takes the victory ahead of Dan Chamberlain there. So good rides there by both of the rookies to finish 5th and 6th overall. Collins, Turner, Langley, Storpersis is the third of the rookie thousands in 10th. And then it's Thomas, Vincer, Donovan, Mercer, Fern, Gates, Mantell. So that means I've got to do a pronunciation tonight at the presentation about half an hour, 45 minutes after the last race in Tyrrells, where I've got to pronounce Storpersis' full name. Oh boy, that's going to be great fun doing that.